Okay, everyone. So if you're watching this video, that means that you've already done a couple of the basic things in SketchUp, and you know about how to use some basic tools over here and so on. The purpose of this video is to show you how to draw your project. So here's my project. Okay, just a very simple shelf, space for hooks down there, place for little cubbies for things, and bookshelf up top. And I have dimensions. So this is sort of what this is a version of a project, but this is what you're going to hand in, and you're going to take a screenshot. You're going to take a screenshot of it in its final form like this, but you're also going to take a screenshot of it with everything pulled apart. Okay, so where you take the pieces and you pull them apart. You can get rid of the dimensions when you do that to show that you've grouped everything properly. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm just going to copy this off to the right, so I'm going to draw it over in this space here, and just using some of the techniques that I've shown you. So the first thing is I'm going to draw these two sides here. Okay, now let's zoom in here, and we're going to have a look at the dimensions of that. So this piece here is 3 5/8 wide and 3/4 thick. Okay, so I'm going to draw just that two-dimensional shape, 3 5/8 by 3/4. By going over here and choosing a square or rectangle. Okay, rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw that. So here's how you draw it. You click once, okay, click once to begin the drawing. Drag it out, and then don't click again. You're not going to click again. You're going to look in the lower right of the screen. So see down here, see all these numbers down here? Watch those numbers, because I'm going to do some typing now. So it's going to be, it's 3 5/8 by 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to type 3/4, okay, and I'm going to put a comma. And then I'm going to put 3 5/8. So 3, and then a space, and then 5/8, okay? Now SketchUp knows that I'm talking about inches. If I don't indicate anything, if I don't put the foot symbol or anything, then it knows that I'm talking about inches. So you see what I just did? 3/4, comma, 3, space, 5/8. Okay, and I hit enter, and there it is. Okay, so that's that. There's the shape of that. And if I want to check that, I can go down here to I can get my tape measure, and you can always use your tape measure to measure anything. So click once, and then go to the end. That's 3 5/8. Hit the escape key. Escape. Okay, you can use the escape key to get out of any function or anything you're doing. Okay, and that's 3/4. Okay, so I hit escape, and now I'm going to raise that up. So how high is this project? These pieces are 1 foot 1.5, which is the same thing as 13.5. So I'm going to push-pull. Here's the push-pull tool. You see what I just grabbed it over there? Grab the push-pull tool. I click once, and I raise it up. Okay, now again, don't click a second time. What you're going to do is you're going to type the dimensions in. So 13.5, so 13. Now I could put a fraction. I could put a space, and then I could go 1/2 like that. Are you watching the numbers in the lower right screen? Okay, watch those numbers. So I could put 13.5, but I'm gonna get rid of that half, and instead of that, I'm just going to work in decimals, because you can do either 0.5. Okay, hit enter, and now that piece is 13.5. So I'm done drawing that side piece. There's nothing else to do to it. If you want to put any curves in it and stuff like that, then you could do that at this point. But I'm done, so I'm going to take the pointer, and I'm going to triple click. 1, 2, 3, okay? And notice what that does. It selects everything on that object. Okay, triple click. Then I'm going to right click and make it a group. Okay, so triple click, make it and then right click, make it a group. And now I want to draw, I'm going to do the second side. So this is the first side, I'm going to do the second side. Now, how do I do that? I could come over here and I could draw it, but I've already got one here. It's identical. So I'm just going to copy this one over. We need to know how far. So I'm going to scroll in here. It's 1 foot 9. Okay, 1 foot 9, which is 21 inches. And that's from the outside of the shelf to outside. Okay, from the outside of the left side to the outside of the right side. So I'm going to mark that off first, the 21 inches, by taking a tape measure. Down here, get the tape measure tool. And down here, okay, so here's the outside. I'm going to click once, and I'm going to start dragging. But don't click a second time, okay? You type in, watch the lower right of the screen where the numbers are. I type in 21, and SketchUp knows it's inches, and then I hit return, or enter. Okay, now, so that's how far it's going to go. Now I have to copy it. So it's a group, so I can, because it's a group, I can take it and I can move it anywhere. I'm going to hit the escape key there. Okay, but I want to move and copy it at the same time. So I'm going to take the move tool, okay, and I'm going to go down here. Now, where am I going to grab it? That's the big question. So it's important whenever you move something or move and copy, you have to grab it in a certain in the right place. Okay, if I just grab it anywhere, if I just grab it like this and then start moving it, and on a Mac I hit the Option key to copy it. If you're on a PC, you hit the Control key. So I'm going to hit the Option key now. Watch what happens. Option. Oh, there we go. It copied. Okay. If you're on a PC, you don't have an Option key, so you hit Control. I don't know if you have an Option key, to be honest, but you hit Control. Okay, and that's it. But here's my point: is that if I'm just grabbing it anywhere and I'm moving it and copying it, and it's hard to place it on that line. Okay, see the dotted line? It's really hard to do that. So I'm going to hit the Escape key. All right, now I'm back to where I started. Here's what I want you to do instead. Grab it from the corner or from wherever makes sense to land on that line. Okay, so I'm going to grab it in the lower right corner here. Okay, right there. I'm going to zoom in here. You see that? I'm going to grab it right there and start to move it. And as I move it, as I said before, on a Mac, I'm going to hit the Option key. If you're on a PC, then you hit the Control key to copy. So I'm moving it. Don't click again. I'm going to hit the Option key. There. Okay. And now I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to bring it over here and put it right on that line. Notice I'm following the red axis. Okay. You see the dotted line is red. If I go off that red axis, it's going to be crooked. So keep on that red axis. Move, move, move. And you see how easy it is to place it on that line now? So that's perfect. And then I click like that. So I click to release. Get my pointer over here. Okay. And now, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the shelves. So how do I do these shelves? I come down here. Let's look at the dimensions. From the top down is 5 3/8. From the bottom up is 3 1/2. Okay. So let's mark those out with a tape measure. I'm going to come in here, grab the tape measure tool, and from the top I'm going to bring it down. So don't click a second time. You're going to do this with the dimensions. So watch the lower right of the screen. I type 5 space 3/8. Okay, enter. And that gives me that line right there. Okay. Now I need the thickness of this. So this shelf is 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to do a second line here. I start to drag it out, and then I type 3/4 return or enter. And that gives me the size of that shelf. And so now I can do the same thing at the bottom. The bottom one was 3 1/2 inches up. So I'm going to click, climb that up 3.5. Okay, I could have typed the fraction, but I decided to do the decimal. Return or enter. That's the bottom of the shelf. And then I'm going to click once, bring it up 3/4 return. Okay, and then I'm going to take the rectangle tool, click once, click twice for that. Okay, and here, click once, click twice, and now we grab the push-pull tool like this, and we're going to take both of those over. Okay, so watch this. So I'm going to take this. So when you push-pull stuff, you click once and you drag it. Now where you go, all you have to do is line up the cursor with the thing that you're trying to align with. So I bring this over, and all I really have to do is, see what I'm doing? I place it along that edge, okay? Or I place it on that face. Okay, I can place it on this face anywhere, or I can place it on that edge. Okay, but don't pull it all the way through. That's wrong. Okay, just go on the edge or the face like that. Click a second time, like that. Okay. To do this second one's the exact same size. So to be honest, I could have drawn one and then copied it down. Okay, but watch this. I want to stretch this out. This is the exact same as the last one. So I'm going to just bring it over and place it on that face. okay, just like that. Or I touched the edge, but anyway, so those two are done. So now I can group them. Okay, so create a group. So 1, 2, 3, just a triple click, and then right click, make a group. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, make a group. Okay. All right. Now these dividers. So these dividers are done. Those are 6 inches in. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create with my tape measure tool. I'm going to come over and I'm going to come over 6 inches. So I type 6, enter, like that. And it's 3/4 thick, so 3/4, enter, like that. Okay. And over here, all I really need is the 6 inches, and I'll show you why. So 6, return. Okay, and now I'm going to create a rectangle here, like this. I'm going to pull it up, like that. Okay, I just have to go to that edge. That's all I have to do. And then I'm going to make it a group. So to make this a group, triple click, 1, 2, 3, right click, make a group. And now I'm going to move and copy this at the same time. So I grab it there, and I start to move it. And as I move it, because I'm on a Mac, I hit the Option key. Option, that copies it. If you're on a PC, you hit the Control key. And I bring this over, and I place it right on that line, like that. Okay, that creates my 3 cubbies. And now all I have to do is go underneath here and create this back piece with a curve. So I'm going to crawl underneath here, use tape measure tool. I think it's a 1/2 inch up from the bottom, so I'm going to come in up a 1/2 inch, like that, and it's 3/4 thick. So I'm going to come over here 3/4 of an inch. There we go, 3/4, like that. Rectangle tool. Okay, like that, and then I pull that across. So I'm just going to zoom out here. I'm going to rotate around. And whoops, I'm going to rotate. So I'm going to start pulling, and I'm going to rotate as I pull. You can do that. Okay, bring this over, place it on the face, like that. So that's where it's going to go. And click, and I'm done. And now I just need a curve. Curves are kind of cool. They're fun to work with. So to draw a curve here, okay, let me back out. Let's get rid of some of these lines. Okay, they're starting to confuse me. So I'm going to get rid of these lines. How I'm going to do that? I'm going to start in the lower right and draw a box like that, and then delete. Okay, that's a quick way of highlighting anything on your drawing. If you want to highlight a whole bunch of things all at once, you start in the lower right and you draw a box. You draw a box around whatever you want to highlight, like that. Okay, so that's the whole thing, and I could move that whole thing if I wanted. Whatever. I'm going to hit the Escape key to get out of this. Escape there. Go back here, get the pointer, click anywhere on the drawing, click, and that gets rid of my highlights. Okay, so let's go in, let's crawl underneath here, and we're going to draw a curve. Okay, so here goes. The curve tools, the one that I'm going to use is up here. Okay, it's called, this is it, it's called a 2-point arc. I click on that tool, now I can draw an arc. I'm going to start down here, click once, bring it down here, click twice. And then I'm going to raise it up. I don't like too much of a curve. I don't like that kind of a curve. I just like a very gentle, shallow curve like that. Click. Okay, and now push pull. So I click once, push it through, click twice, and I'm done. Okay, so that's my project. That's a copy of the first one. And now what you do is you put dimensions on it. So dimensions are down here by the tape measure. That's the dimensioning tool right there. And you just start dimensioning your project like that. Okay, drag it out. And remember the dimensions for this. Okay, you have to include all dimensions needed to build this. Okay, all necessary dimensions to build it. So you just go around your drawing like that, and it ends up looking like this. Okay, so you see all the dimensions. Those are all the dimensions necessary to build the project. I hope, and so that you could hand this plan to somebody who does this for a living, or you could hand it to somebody to build, and they shouldn't have too many questions because you've given them all the information. Okay, so And if you notice at the end here, basically if I click on any of these parts, I know it's grouped, because if I click once on it, okay, it highlights blue. Click, highlights blue. That means it's grouped. Okay. If you want to make changes to any of these pieces, if you want to change, you want to put a curve on something like that. Okay, so let's look at this end piece here. Then you just double click on it to open the group. Okay, I want to open the group and draw on it, change it. So you click twice like that, and that opens it, and now you can make changes. Okay, so let's say I want to curve this, you know, do a curve around here. Okay, then I make a curve like that. Okay, did you see? I'm going to do that again. Did you see how that works? I click once here, I click twice up here where it says tangent to edge, click twice, and then I still have to click a third time. I drag it along. Let me go right in there. I drag it along that edge, okay, like that, until it turns pink. And it says tangent to edge, and then I click a third time. Okay, 1, 2, 3 clicks. And then I can push pull, click once, bring it through like that, okay? And then I'm going to, let me back out here. Okay, so watch this. It always leaves these unsightly lines here. So let's get rid of those. Now, yeah, I have to make sure that I'm in that group. So right now, so I have to open that group like that. Okay, now I'm in the drawing for that group. And now I hit the erase tool. If I just use the erase tool, watch what happens. Okay, if I just try to erase that, it gets rid of that whole top. So that's not good. I'm going to hit Control. I'm going to hit Undo. So here's what you do to get rid of that line, but leave everything intact. Hold the Shift key down. I push the Shift key down, and I hit it with the eraser. And what is this? Interesting. I'm going to try that again. Okay, let me open that up, and erase tool. Okay, so for some reason this is not working for me this morning. No, it's not. No, okay. For some reason it's not working. It should work, okay, it's always worked for me. For you, it should work. My computer's kind of upset this morning. Don't know why. Let me try that one more time. Nope. Okay. Forget about it. So but you can use that. This has never done this to me before, anyway. Okay. So that is the drawing, folks. All right. Email me with any questions, any concerns, any problems, and that's it. Take care.